You know Riker?
Yeah, who do you think hooks me up with all my contraband?
Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. You already know what time it is, and we need to have another discussion, man. Something is going on with gaming as of recently. If companies aren't trying to cater to the most obscure audience possible while trying to push some woke garbage down everyone's throat, then they're catering to casuals and allowing what once made a game challenging and thoughtful kind of into a mind-numbing mess of repetitive mediocrity. To just list a few examples in recent memory, like Saints Row, Concord, Dragon Age, Veilguard, and now sadly two of my most favorite games I feel like are being subjugated to that, which are Tekken 8 and Monster Hunter Wilds. Most of my videos have been centered around Wilds lately, so I'll start with that one first. I first started playing Monster Hunter when World came out, although I remember both of my best friends constantly begging me to get into the series beforehand, but I wasn't too big of a fan of having to play it on the DS. So seeing World on console was like a no-brainer for me. I currently have about 51 days, 12 hours, and 8 minutes played in World. So I think it's safe to say that I really enjoyed the game, but I've gotten really worried about the direction of Wilds. I'm not the best hunter by any means, but in my opinion, Zoshia was okay. The fight wasn't bad, but for a story-ending boss, he was cool, just not what I expected. I will say, other than Gorn Magala, it's the only two fights in the game that actually feel good to fight the monster. Like, I feel like, it's really engaging. Every time I go into a quest, the monster dies in like the first 10 to 15 minutes, especially if you're playing with friends. And I'm not saying that I want every fight to be 60 minutes long, but we as hunters feel like monsters. It's almost like, how I felt in Rise. Even though Rise was easier fights, it still felt better than what Wilds is currently offering. If I jump into a quest to help another hunter in Wilds, I don't even feel like I'm assisting at all. By the time I whack the monster and we go to another area, it's kind of already dying. We do way too much damage constantly and it doesn't feel rewarding at all. I want to earn it. I don't want it just given to me. And within the first day, I had everything I really wanted from both Zoshia and Mitsune. And that leads me to my next point. I think Monster Hunter Wilds was released in an unfinished state. The game would have been received way better had it been released in the springtime to allow us to get through the game, the main story, low rank, high rank, to also have the event on top of that, Zoshia, Mitsune, and the Grand Hub all at once. You can't sit here and tell me Capcom didn't drop the ball with giving us an unfinished game with terrible performance issues, okay? Like, my dude on Xbox sounds like a robot. By the time we would have gotten done with Arc-Tempered Raid Dow, the summer update would have been right around the corner. The first Monster Hunter game was released in 2005, and it's been about 20 years, and Capcom thought releasing Wilds in this state was a great idea. I'm not saying that the dev team isn't working to fix this stuff, because there's always this battle between the actual developers and then the actual publisher company. I get it. Same thing going on with Bandai Namco and Tekken. Like, I feel like they kind of, Bandai Namco had a thing with Dragon Ball FighterZ and turning that into a party game. Whole different discussion. Not gonna get into that, but back to what I was talking about. The first Monster Hunter game was released in 2005, and it's been 20 years, and they thought that, this was going to be okay. And although the sales did well, it shouldn't be excusable that all of these games are releasing in such a fashion where they're always unfinished. Something is like really wrong, but something also has to be done about the difficulty in this game too. I'm not asking for impossible fights, but with the direction of how this game is going, there's no way we get anything close to Fatalis, Altron, or Arc-Tempered Velkhana. Especially not with Secret. They have to be, there's gotta be fights where Secret is just completely disabled, he's scared, he's like Torrent in Elden Ring in that one super dark section, and you can't use him, you can't, just get around him, alright? We also need a health boost to all monsters and a massive damage reduction to all wound damage and wound knockovers. It's way too much, it's way too easy. I mean, I was so confident in the idea that builds don't even matter in Wilds that I took off all my gems, like basically everything but my armor, and fought Tempered Jindahad with the Hiribama Elemental Ice File Charge Blade, and I still cooked him even though like half the time I'm doing 0 damage. Now, maybe this isn't the best example, but I just remember trying to do something similar to Kushala in World with his weapon, and I was getting flatlined along with failing the mission due to time. I'm just trying to point out that the wound mechanic will carry you regardless of how you play, and that's an entire level of gameplay that's just lost in Wilds. I'm just worried about how they're going to scale fights for future updates. I think what they've done so far is good, so please don't take this as me like hating the game or the developers. As I said in the beginning, I was a really big Tekken 8 fan until the most recent patch. Tekken 8 was my first Tekken, and nothing would have changed had the community not boycotted the game. The developers actually thought the changes that they made to Tekken 8 would not only please the community but sustain the game's life. We are talking about them removing 30 years, okay? 30 years of tech from certain characters. And they thought that making certain characters that are really hard to play, that took a lot of skill to do, which was what made certain things so hype about Tekken 8, they said, yes, this is okay. You gotta sit back and realize that. They thought the entire community, okay? Tekken has a world tour. They thought the entire community would be okay with something like that. And that's what I'm trying to get down to with Capcom as well, because I'm worried something similar is like right around the corner that's going to affect Monster Hunter Wilds as well. And I really just I don't want to see that happen. And yeah, I know as of recently, you know, as far as the issues go with Tekken 8, they've made an apology, you know, to the community and promising to fix it through updates. But I'm still personally not going to be playing ranked for a while. But overall, I'm concerned, man. I want this game to be good. I want Tekken to be good. I'm tired of seeing all my games fail because of bad, you know, publisher decisions, you know, pushing developers to do this and that, and it's just a mess as of recently, man. So look, feel free to leave your thoughts in the discussion box down below. If you liked the video, liked it. If you dislike it, you can do that too. Have a great day. God bless and happy hunting.